Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition, the Jackie Robinson Podcast, episode 42. I'm Ward Sewell, joined here by the big dog, Cameron Taylor. As you see, Cam is repping the big blue loud and proud. He has his black and blue hat on. Looks like a dookie, but anyway, the boys are back. The boys are ready to roll. As Cam, I was watching WWE highlights last night, and I listened to a theme song by this guy named The Big Show. And they go, well, it's the big show. And so they need to change that out and say, instead of the big show, well, it's the big dogs. Because the big dogs are back, baby. Big Cam,
There
how
we
you doing,
go.
brother?
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm doing well, man. I do want to tell everybody we're not called the Jackie Robinson Podcast. This is
Yeah.
the Fat Katz Podcast. This is the Jackie Robinson episode, though. Super excited to get into it, Ward, man. It's good to see you after a week. But I kind of want to get into the weekends. I know I had a pretty wild weekend, per se. But before we get into it, I do want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day, Ward. I know
Happy
you have
Valentine's Day. Absolutely. I missed that.
somebody near and dear to your heart, man. If you want
Yeah.
to give me shout outs, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to my old lady. Everybody knows me, knows my better half. We're going to eat at a hole in the wall Italian restaurant tonight called Dante's. We don't give any free shout outs on here, but Dante's, you're getting my business tonight. And Kim, I know you're a big Italian guy. I'm gonna put a hurting on some spaghetti and meatballs tonight, boy. Let me tell you.
there we go, man. Nothing better than a good hole in the wall Italian spot that
Yeah.
not too many people know about. Do want to remind everybody before we get into it, find us on Spotify and YouTube at Fat Katz or at the Fat Katz Podcast. That's KTZ, and then Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. Going to get a little bit more active on the socials now that football season's over, Ward. So everybody look out for that. We got a super fun show for you guys. I do want to remind everybody, merch just dropped. Link in all of our bios. It's on the shop, and going to be having a giveaway with the merch here pretty soon. So keep an
Hey,
eye out for that.
and also too on the merch, it's not just your stereotypical Fat Katz t-shirt. We've gone big. We knew
Oh yeah,
once so everybody that knows this, Cam, I'm gonna steal your thunder. But the boys hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. And when you hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, Cam, you get name brand stuff. So now, if you go to the Fat Katz link tree, you'll see Adidas quarter zips. You'll see actually stitched hats. You'll see Cam, you take it away from there. I can't
yeah.
remember
We got stitched hats. We got the Adidas Q zip. We got a sweatshirt, not a hoodie yet. We got the black shirt that's been highly requested with the white logo. Bunch of cool stuff, man. Super excited. We're calling it our Back in Black drop. Everything is black, which was a huge deal to a lot of people. I know people my size, if you're a bigger cat, man, a fat cat per se, black looks a lot better when you pass that about 320, 330-pound threshold. Black looks a lot better on you.
Black
So
swimming.
we are calling this the Back in Black drop. But like I said, man, super excited to give you guys this. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, super excited to get in the show, Ward. I think there's no better way to start it out than with one of our favorite segments, First Favorite and Forgotten. If you're new, the episode number corresponds with the jersey number. So with episode 42 being recorded right now, we're going to give you our first athlete that comes to mind that wore 42, our favorite athlete to wear 42, and somebody who is forgotten that wore 42. Ward, we already kind of ruined this one for everybody, but go ahead and tell us your first.
Absolutely. And just one, take a look at that quarter zip, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody watching on YouTube, on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, you cannot see my phone screen right now, but that is a black Adidas quarter zip with the Fat Katz logo zoomed in on it. It'll get
Heck
much
yeah.
better than that, Cam. I don't see many rival podcasts dropping merch like we do.
Well, and I was talking, Ward, and we're getting off track already, but that it wouldn't be the Fat Cats if we weren't on track. The Fat Cats, just the text, super clean. Like you don't have the big logo on there. It's super clean. You can wear it any function. You can wear it out to a nice dinner date for Valentine's Day, maybe.
you
You can go to
could.
the gym in it. You can do whatever you want in the Fat Cats Adidas quarter zip.
It's kind of what I compare the quarter zip to.
What's that?
It's almost like what are those shoes called that everybody has? God, I can't even think what they're called now. The
The Roshis.
Hey Dudes, Hey Dudes.
Oh, hey dudes,
They're like Hey Dudes. You can wear them to work. You can wear them to the gym. You can wear them to a nice function. You can even wear them to church if you want to.
Heck
It's just
yeah.
like our quarter zip. You can wear it anywhere. It's durable. It's for all the seasons, baby. But anyway,
Heck yeah.
first favorite forgotten, Cam, Jackie Robinson, number 42 is my first.
Yep, I think everybody had that one. I changed it up to be different. I'm going with what some would say the greatest safety of all time. Steelers fan would probably say he's the second greatest safety of all time. Ravens fans would probably say he's the second greatest safety of all time. But I'm going with our guy Ronnie Lott, man. One of the best safeties ever put on the helmet.
And if anybody has ever played Madden Ultimate Team, Ronnie Lott's a dog on Madden Ultimate Team, let me tell you. Yeah, somehow he always ends up on my team. He ain't the fastest, but boy, he lays the lumber, let me tell you.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, Cam, I'm jumping right into my favorite this week. This is a legend. Anybody knows Pat Tillman. Everybody likes Pat Tillman. But Pat Tillman wore number 40 in the NFL when he was in college in Sun Devil country down there at Arizona State. He did wear 42, Cam. So favorite 42, yeah. Pat Tillman.
Yeah, American hero, Pat Tillman. My favorite is going to be Darren Sharper. Now, before I tell you, great NFL career. I think he's a 2-time All-Pro, maybe a 5 or 7-time Pro Bowler, NFL champion. But what I remember most for is a legendary YouTube video of Madden. Greg Jennings was running down the sideline ward with a broken leg. And here he sees as one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league, Darren Sharper. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to post it on the Instagram so you'll get the context. One of the funniest videos of all time.
I have not seen that video, Cam, so I would like to see that. But I like it, man. My forgotten this week is going to be Barry Church. Cam, you ever heard of Barry Church?
I've heard, but I'm not familiar with this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither. He's a former Cowboys linebacker. So yeah,
gotcha.
Nobody knows who that guy is. He plays for the wrong team in Texas. So
there you go.
Barry Church, you're forgotten, man.
My forgotten is going to be James Worthy. Now, a lot of people talk about James Worthy. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But I feel like that people kind of forget about him on those Lakers team. Like, he played with Magic and Kareem. Like, he was kind of the third fiddle to those guys on the Showtime Lakers. So I feel like James Worthy gets a little respect here from the Fat Katz as being one of the greatest NBA players of all time.
Yeah, I like it, brother. I like it, big dog.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
That was a good first favorite forgotten. We usually have good ones, but that one was pretty good.
That was a fun one, and like we've said the past few episodes, like we're starting to get back into the territory where it's like, oh, we have more than 6 guys to pick from.
So who's claiming first number 43?
Oh, if you guys know me, you already know Troy Polamalu is going to be. I'll root it for everybody. Troy Polamalu is going to be my first and my favorite probably. But as we get into it, man, everybody knows, kind of rounding out football season here. We'll see if it sticks around or if we'll go back to full plate, empty stomach. But if this is the last one, what a hell of a way to end the weekly game balls going out, Ward. I'm going to let you go first, throwing out your game ball.
Yep, my first one is going to be the individual that is made the Super Bowl winning catch, Cam. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A little bit of a tongue twister. Anybody notice anything about MVS? He used to be a legend in Raleigh. I didn't know that until yesterday, Cam. Funny story.
Yep.
Had no idea that MVS used to play for the Wolfpack, but he was here for 2 years. He started 8 games in 2 years as a Wolfpack. Then he transferred down to South Florida, where South Florida is really, really where he shined. Did not shine here in Raleigh, but yeah, man, he former Wolfpack, caught the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. So here we go.
There you go. Was he he was Dorn's first class, right?
He was Dorn's first class, 2013 or 2012.
Who would have thought, man?
Who thought?
My first game ball, I'm going to throw it to a former Wildcat, hence the Kentucky hat that I wore today. Mike Edwards plays safety for the Chiefs. Became the first UK Wildcat to win a Super Bowl for multiple franchises award. His first coming with the Bucks when Tom Brady won. He's also the only player in NFL history award to have an interception in every playoff game.
Wow!
So
how many playoff games was that?
It was the Super Bowl run for the Bucks, so it would have been 3 games.
Oh,
I believe.
okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. So, no, it was 4 games because they made they had to win. They were a wild card team. Yeah, that's awesome.
So Mike Edwards.
That's awesome.
Do you have another award?
I only have one this week, Cam. Gotcha. So I'll just go ahead and pass the ball off to you, brother.
All good, man. Syracuse backcourt, get my second game ball. Beat UNC, which we'll talk about later, last
Oh,
night.
yeah, they did.
Great court storming if you didn't watch. But I want to highlight two guys. J.J. Starling, Notre Dame transfer, had 23 points against the Tar Heels, and a guy who I've liked his game since high school. He played with Chris Livingston at Oak Hill. Judah Mintz had 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in the huge win for the Syracuse Orange.
How about it, Cam? How about it? Let's just go ahead and let's talk about it, brother. How Super Bowl 58, what a game. What a game. I'll go ahead and share my initial thoughts first before we dive into, the actual full breakdown. I didn't want this game to end, Cam. I did not want this game to end. It was 3 seconds left, ball on the 4-yard line, whatever it was. I was like, man, I hope 49ers get a stop here. It's 11 o'clock. I got to work the next day. I got an 8 o'clock meeting. But boy, I hope this game keeps on going. One, because it's a hell of a football game between two great teams. And two, we're done, dude. We don't have football until September. We don't have regular season football, Cam. So, Initial thoughts. Let's hear them. What a game.
Yeah, super great game. I told everybody last week, make sure you enjoy this football game. Like, this is the last one we're going to get. And these teams made it easy for everybody because it was a hell of a football game. First half, kind of a snooze fest a little bit if you're not like a defensive
Very much of a snooze fest, yes.
But that second half, man, these guys came alive, and what a fun football game. Overtime, you get overtime in the Super Bowl. What more can you ask for? Brock Purdy Ward had 255 yards and a huge effort. CMC had 160 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. Jawan Jennings probably got robbed of a Super Bowl MVP if they win that football game. He had a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. But with all that being said, the best player on the football field was number 15.
It was number 15. It was number 15. And I've been having these talks all week about whether this guy can be compared to Brady or not. That's a controversial subject, Cam. I think that me and you and our generation are going to be the old heads. If you say you look at LeBron and Jordan, okay, all the old heads think Jordan. I think us, we're watching them both. We've watched them both, but I guess I'll consider myself an old head. I don't think Mahomes is on Brady level yet. Brady has 7. Mahomes has 3 now, which, don't get me wrong, extremely impressive by Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, yeah. And for people that bet against Patrick Mahomes, we have been talking for a month now, Cam. Why? Why do you bet against Patrick Mahomes? I mean, the guy doesn't lose on the national spotlight or the national stage. The guy doesn't lose. And Cam, there was another thing that went on. Not sure if you heard of this, but there was a national drinking game on Super Bowl Sunday. I did not partake, but this national drinking game, Cam, was every time Taylor Swift's name is mentioned, take a swig or take a chug of your beer. Every time there's a video of her shown on national television. You have to finish your drink wherever you are in your drink, or wherever it's at, just like college, wherever it is where you're drinking it. So that was a drinking game. Not sure if anybody partake in it. Let us know in the comments. But probably be in for a bad day if you did.
There you go. Yeah, I did not partake in the drinking game.
Me neither.
I'll tell you, there was a few guys. I'll name drop them. Jaden and our boy Connor did partake in about every drink.
Y'all finally got Jaden out of the house.
Jaden was out of the house. His girlfriend was with him. But great to see Jaden, man. That feels like the first time in a decade I've seen that guy.
Where'd y'all go to? Eric and John and Ben's house?
No, we were at Connor's house, actually. Connor cooked for everybody, man. Great host.
Look at that, Connor. I'm proud of you, buddy. That's a Wolfpack Redskins fan for you right there.
There you go. Well. There you go. I do have a stat ward. We were talking about Mahomes' GOAT status, I guess. I'm getting closer by the day of throwing him in. Like, to me, it's 12 and 15, and then everybody else right now. But since 2001, in the playoffs, there's been 125 drives where there's been a minute or less to play, and the team on offense trailed by 7 or less points. Only 40% of them, the offense won the game.
Okay.
Right? Brady did it. He was 5 of 11 in his career for 46%.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze did it. He was 3 and 6 or 3-4-6, so he went 50%. Pat Mahomes through his career so far with a minute or less, trailing by 7 points or one score or less. 7 for 7, 100% in the
Wow.
playoffs.
Wow. That's in the
That's
playoffs or the Super Bowl?
in the playoffs.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it's a pretty big stat, Cam. Pretty big stat.
I mean, can you get more clutch than that? Like
Pressure makes diamonds, and I guess Buddy is a diamond at this point.
yeah, dude, he's incredible.
Yeah,
So
that reminds me of my career player in Madden 24. But anyway,
yeah, man. I didn't even know Madden had my players, to be honest with you.
or not my player. You know what I mean? The career, the
I did,
franchise mode.
I didn't know that was a thing. I only coach in Madden.
Oh yeah, they have the franchise mode, and my quarterback. I've won 9 Super Bowls now with the Washington Commanders. So
They need you, man.
I do, no
Yeah.
doubt. But no, something, Cam, I do want to touch on this before we move on from the Super Bowl. In regards to San Francisco, I mean, Brock Purdy. I thought Brock Purdy had a hell of a football game. I thought Brock Purdy looked really good, and I think Brock Purdy he will calling it here now. He still has one more year on his contract after or in the middle of next season or after next season. Brock Purdy will be the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL. He will reset the market. One, you look at his record, the way he played on the big stage in the Super Bowl. Not many quarterbacks are doing what Brock Purdy did. Brock Purdy had a great game. That's one. And two, it wasn't like his playmakers were making plays for him, Cam. The all-pro tight end George Kittle had 2 catches for 4 yards. So it's not like he's doing anything. Deebo Samuel, what did he do? Well, I don't know what his stat line is. I saw it.
3 catches.
He didn't do much. Brandon Ayuk, what did he do?
2 catches.
Nothing. Christian McCaffrey did everything, and that guy that you mentioned that got robbed the Super Bowl MVP did everything. So, I mean, he made plays. He proved he is not a game manager. He is a game executioner. He didn't – obviously, the game didn't go in his favor. He's playing the greatest quarterback of not our lifetime, but greatest quarterback in the last – when did Brady retire? 2 years ago? Yeah, that's not really a good one. But, yeah, man, I thought Brock Purdy – I was very impressed by Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I agree. I will say, I was watching the game. First drive, first 2 runs. I looked at Connor James and said, if they run the football the rest of the game, like they should run the football 40 times, they'll win this football game. McCaffrey goes and fumbles. I looked at Connor James and said, they're going to stop running the football because the best player in the NFL fumbled the football. I feel like guys outthink themselves sometimes. They want to be smarter than the game. Just run the ball. Like they would if the 49ers run the football 40 times, even 50 times, they win that game without probably by more than a score, if we're being honest. But I don't want to take away from the Chiefs, man. A guy who made himself a lot of money, Chris Jones, dominated.
He did dominate.
McCole Hardman had a great game. He had 3 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Kelsey, you get prime Kelsey, 9 receptions, 93 yards. But I don't know how you're going to beat this team, man. Like Booger said it after the broadcast. This team won a Super Bowl with 2 guys at left tackle and right tackle that aren't good.
Yep.
They won a Super Bowl with their best receiver being a guy they got off waivers and a rookie.
From the Jets.
Yeah. They won a Super Bowl with like a ton of starters out on defense. How are you going to beat 15 and Andy Reid, man? Like these guys are incredible. And look, go back to week seven. Who in the world thought week 7 the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl?
What were they? 4 and 3?
I didn't. Yeah, they were 4 and 3. Nuts, man. These guys are incredible.
They are incredible. They're a dynasty, man. The Kansas City Chiefs are a dynasty. We're watching a dynasty in front of our eyes. The Brady dynasty ended and the Mahomes dynasty began. And
the way we talk about, Mahomes, is he getting close to Brady? We got to start thinking about that with Andy Reid and Bill Belichick.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's very true. Because the thing is, Andy Reid has an argument with is he has been there with 2 teams. He took the Eagles there. The Eagles got beat, but he took the Eagles to a Super Bowl. He got fired from the Eagles job, and look what he's created in Kansas City. Yep. Belichick did it with the teams that Belichick did it with were Brady-led teams, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Or not the San Francisco 49ers, the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you. I think we all knew what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But again, one of the better Super Bowls I can remember in our
Great
life.
Super Bowl. Great Super Bowl.
I do want to talk about the halftime show because I thought it was pretty good. I don't think you
I thought
agree.
it sucked.
I like Usher, but seeing Lil Jon come out, seeing will.i.am come out, all those guys, Ludacris came out. If you were 35 to 40, I'm sure you enjoyed it a lot more than I did. But
Yeah.
I had a great time watching the halftime show. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I wasn't that big of a fan of seeing Usher up there take his shirt off and dance. I'm like, all right, man, let's get back.
What
Let's
about
get
the
back
roller
to it.
skate? What'd you think about him roller skating?
I thought that was pretty cool. It was impressive. I couldn't have done that. And
I could put that
blue
and black suit he had on matches my hat. I was
yeah,
hoping
I
he'd
will.
send it.
One thing that I thought that was cool about Usher was how quick he changed his clothes.
That
I don't
was
know if you
awesome.
saw in 5 seconds he takes his shirt off, and then in 5 seconds he's in a whole new outfit. I'm like, good God, man, this guy's like Houdini. But I thought that was cool. And then whatever girl was up there, I think it was Alicia Keys.
Yep.
They looked like they're about to start making love in the middle of the whole world. I thought that was a little iffy too. But I don't know, man. My thing about the Super Bowl halftime show is why don't they put people that are relevant now? Like when's the last time Usher's put out music when's the last time Usher's been put out music that's been up there, in a recent perspective?
Yeah, but I feel like they've always done that. Where I feel like they've always had
They
people that were
always
like
do that. I know it was Rush or Usher, and then they put Rihanna last year. And
50 Cent was up there at one point.
50 Cent was there. They put Lady Gaga, I believe is her name.
Yeah. During COVID, we did have The Weeknd.
That sucked.
I thought that
That
one was
might be
good
worse
too.
that one might be worse than Usher. I'm just curious, and I like Morgan Wallen, but I'm not that big of a Morgan. I'm not like a huge Morgan Wallen fan, but Morgan Wallen is at the top of the charts in all music, and he has been for the past 18 months. Why don't you put a guy like that up there? Why don't I mean? And then somebody
he's an HR risk though.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, hell, I'm sure if you go dig enough on anybody can be. But I just like that's the thing. I was making people were arguing with me. They're like they want somebody that can get up there and dance. Like yeah, I get that. They put Rihanna up there last year. She was pregnant. She didn't do any dancing. She was hanging on to the damn pole the whole time. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It don't matter. Me critiquing. They don't listen to me anyway.
I do want to talk about the biggest controversy of the weekend, the award, which was, did Reba go over or under? Every book just about had her set at 1:30, 90 seconds. Some books said she went over, some books said she went under. So my question to you, Ward, first, does the national anthem start on the first sound or the first word?
I think it starts on the first when there you go, start it.
I agree.
When they say oh say.
Yeah, I agree. Now she did say at the end of the award, she said brave twice. Does it end on the first brave or the second brave?
It ends when she stops singing.
Okay. So she went over with the second brave on a ton.
Did you bet the over or the under?
I bet the over.
You did, and it hit?
It hit on my book, but one of my friends also bet the over, and it didn't hit on his book.
Interesting. Okay.
So
that's a little bit of controversy.
It's huge. Not huge, but it's weird that we don't. Yeah. First of all, it's stupid that a guy like me can bet on that. I'm pretty sure there's a hotline for that. I haven't called it yet, but maybe one of these days.
Yeah. And hey, speaking of bets, I didn't tell you about my over-under bet. So the over-under was 47. Guess what the game was at?
47.
47 total. So I won by one.
Well, I don't know if anybody did the Bam Bam Cam picks of the week. Bam's Bad Beats. We missed the Super Bowl parlay by one leg. Rashee Rice did not get in the end zone.
Rice did not score. And I had him scoring on my FanDuel. He did not score.
But while we're speaking of sports betting, Ward,
March 15th, right?
In a month, we get sports betting in North Carolina. So that's pretty excited about that.
So I'm curious because I'm not going to name drop anybody, but I know a lot of bookies. And so does that put the bookies business under since FanDuel's coming to town? That's what I thought.
Yeah. They might want to relocate. But hey, so Ward, one more question, Super Bowl wise, and then I think we kind of close the chapter on NFL football. until draft time, which probably will start next week for us, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to give you some facts, and then we're going to answer the question together. Is Kyle Shanahan on fraud watch? Before you answer, he's coached in 3 Super Bowls, Ward. Offense coordinator is the Atlanta Falcons, 2 times as the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. He's had a 10 or more point lead in each Super Bowl he's coached in, lost all 3. Is Kyle Shanahan on fraud watch?
What's your opinion?
I think there can be a conversation. I don't think he's on fraud watch. And the only reason I say that, look at his quarterbacks in these games. He's had guys that maybe can't lose you a game, but they're not going to go win you a game. We saw a guy who's going to go win you a game, 15 in red.
15 will win you a football game.
I don't know if Purdy yet is a guy that can win you a football game.
No.
I know Jimmy Garoppolo at that time was not a guy that could go win you a football game.
Yep. Yeah, that is true, man. I don't know.
He coached Matt Ryan to an MVP season. We saw what Matt Ryan was when he left.
Yeah.
So until I can see this guy with a franchise kind of quarterback, which Purdy might be to him, and if he goes next year and goes back to the Super Bowl and loses, he's probably on fraud watch. But
yeah, that's true. If he goes back and loses next year, I don't know. I wouldn't put him in that statistical category yet. You do make a very good argument. And Cam, we were talking about something last week on each team's key to win. Okay. And I told you, I think that Kansas City Chiefs' key to win is getting pressure on Brock Purdy. You ready for the stat line?
Let's hear it.
Brock Purdy's completion percentage when he was unpressured, 55%. Brock Purdy's completion percentage when he was pressured, 26%.
Wow. That's nuts.
Interesting to think about. Chris Jones does a lot for you. And hey, one of my game balls, man, I didn't get this in there. How about Chase Young, man? Chase Young made an impact on the field. Chase Young made some plays. You knew he was there. So good for Chase. Don't think he's getting paid by San Francisco, but good for him.
Good for Chase, man. Maybe he'll be a Steeler. Who knows? I want you guys to sound off, though. I do want to get everybody's opinion on Shannahan, and we'll clip this and put it out. There's a lot of people in my friend group, especially, saying Shannahan is on fraud watch. I can't say that yet, but there are conversations to be had, Ward. I said this was the last thing we were going to talk about the Super Bowl. It's not, because how the hell does San Francisco not know the new overtime rules, Ward?
I don't.
Have you seen this?
I don't. Yeah, I saw it. I don't believe that crap.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I even knew it, and I don't play.
We've got players saying it, though, is the thing. Like,
so they were saying, when you say the Super Bowl rules, so that you thought that they thought that if Kansas City came down, or if the 49ers got the ball, scored a touchdown. Wait, I worded that wrong. What rules did they not understand?
So they thought that it was regular season overtime rules, which, for anybody who doesn't know, in the regular season, if you score a touchdown first, the game is over.
Yeah.
Sudden death. They thought that's what applied to the playoffs. The playoffs are each team gets the ball once, and then it's sudden death. So if they would have went down and scored a touchdown, the Chiefs would have had the opportunity to still go and score.
Uh-huh.
Now, they kicked a field goal, so it didn't matter. They kicked a field goal, Chiefs go down, score a touchdown, win the game. Doesn't matter.
So they thought they were supposed to get the ball back.
No, they thought that they got the ball first and go score a touchdown, the game's over, which didn't happen.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have affected them anyway. They didn't score a touchdown. So why does it matter?
Exactly.
How is that even getting brought up?
Well, because the guys at the end of the game, like, made it be known that they didn't know. Like, that they had just found out that was overtime rules right when overtime started.
Oh.
Which, how do you let that get out? Like, why is that something you talking about? It just makes your coach look worse, is all it does. But just an odd situation, man, that these guys that get paid millions of dollars to know the rules don't know it. But as soon as overtime started, I looked at everybody and told them the rules. So just thought that was a weird tidbit from Super Bowl weekend.
We can thank Patrick Mahomes for that rule, too.
Heck yeah. And Josh Allen for making us think.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly, Ward, was formerly the head coach at UCLA, making millions upon millions of dollars. last week he decided to step down as head coach and take over the offensive coordinator position at Ohio State. Now, there's a lot of layers to this story, Ward. First of all, Ryan Day, his first offensive coordinator search this offseason, hired Bill O'Brien to be his offensive coordinator. Bill O'Brien, 2 weeks into the job, says, actually, I'm going to go take the head man job at Boston College.
Yep.
Ryan Day makes a call to his longtime friend, Chip Kelly, come be the offensive coordinator. First of all, going from Bill O'Brien to Chip Kelly is kind of like having your Pontiac stolen from your driveway and the insurance giving you a Cadillac.
Yeah.
What an upgrade. I mean, Ryan Day fell up somehow, up the stairs on this one. But something I want to talk about, UCLA is joining the Big Ten next year, Ward. So a guy stepped down as a head coach in your conference to go be the OC for somebody within that conference. What are your thoughts on Chip Kelly making the move?
Really surprising. I remember I saw this, and I don't know if there's something in writing that if they don't make the playoff this year or they don't do, it's a 12-team playoff this year, but I wonder if there's something in writing that Chip Kelly's next up at Ohio State. That's the reason why he wanted to make that move. But usually in jobs, Cam, or usually in sports, you don't see people take demotions. You see people get promotions. So I don't know. They must be paying him a bag. You're coaching football in LA. I think that's the goal for most people. I don't know, Cam. I have no idea. I wish I could tell you. It really shocked me.
It's an odd situation. You don't see this very often. But I'll say UCLA is in a weird spot, Ward, because there's been outcry from both Chip Kelly while he was in the position and Mick Cronin, who's the basketball coach, that they don't have NIL money. So they can't go recruit. Yeah. So, you're in LA. Southern Cal is right down the street. They've got all the money in the world, and you don't have NIL money. It makes sense when that comes to play that a guy doesn't want to be the head man at a school with no NIL money.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, yeah, because all it's going to do, there's something, obviously, something's not going good at UCLA, Cam, because your head coach doesn't turn around and leave. And
for sure.
Who's the front runner to become that next head coach?
Is it PJ Fleck?
Eric Bieniemy.
Really?
Eric Bieniemy is the front runner to be the UCLA head coach. I'm curious if he takes it or not, but
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys, if you've noticed trends in sports, a lot of guys are running from college football to the NFL with the transfer portal and not NIL. So it'll be interesting to see a guy go from NFL to college. We haven't seen it very recently. One last football thing, and I'm going to move past this pretty quick because I'll believe it when I see it. But the Steelers did move for a landing spot for Justin Fields via trade. Last week it was plus 550. It moved to minus 125 yesterday. So the Steelers being the favorite landing spot for Justin Fields. Again, I'll believe when I see it. The guy's on his last year of his rookie deal, so the Steelers.
What's the price tag on Justin Fields? What are you gonna have to give up for him?
Probably a second rounder, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Second rounder, and you got to pay him. He's got 1 year on his rookie deal.
You do got to pay him.
So
you do got to pay him, and you're gonna. I know the right now the price tag to move up to number one is at minimum 2 first-round picks.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
That's I don't know, dude. I really have no idea if they're. I don't know if they're going to take a quarterback, man. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a weird situation going on in Chicago. They've got their hands kind of tied with. It looks like the locker room wants to keep Fields, but you kind of reset the timeline if you take Williams. So we'll see come April what happens.
Yeah.
Warriors, Ward, big news came out today, leaked. The Warriors made a run to try to get LeBron James at the deadline. The trade package hasn't been released or anything like that, but could you imagine LeBron going to Oakland, play with Steph, Draymond? That would be the Monstars almost.
Oh, no, absolutely. I saw this morning, and I have a couple buddies here that are big Lakers fans, and I asked them about it, and I asked them what the price tag was. And because obviously Golden State's not giving up Steph, they're not giving up Draymond. So I asked what they would give up, and they said that it was from what it was multiple first-round picks.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a win-win for San Francisco. Why not shop? Might as
Yeah, for
well
sure.
for a team.
Like,
They're not doing very good. For LeBron, I can see. So the LeBron and the Lakers declined the option, which was kind of interesting. But I don't know, man.
there's word on the street, man, that LeBron's going to be in New York next season.
I have not heard that anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of
In which part of New York?
the Knickerbockers.
No crap.
Yeah, could you imagine? LeBron,
When is his son eligible to get drafted?
he can get drafted this year.
He I wonder if he'll try to. That's interesting to think about.
Knicks have 2 first-round picks. Take Bronny. LeBron's a unrestricted free agent this offseason. He can go wherever he wants.
I wonder if he makes a move or not. New York, man.
Do you imagine in the Big Apple?
Hmm.
That'll be must-see TV, but again, we'll cross that bridge.
What about the Hornets?
Yeah,
Any chance we get him?
no chance. Maybe the Hornets will be able to get like a 43-year-old Steph Curry here in a few years.
Yeah, no shit, man.
One more thing, and then we're gonna move on to college hoops. Ward, we have a guy that you called the biggest bust in NBA history.
He's playing good.
Quote unquote. Victor Wembanyama is absolutely running away with the Rookie of the Year award. The 7'3" Frenchman playing the 5 for the San Antonio Spurs is averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. Ward. He is on pace to break the blocks record his first year in the NBA. He's averaging more blocks than Rudy Gobert did, his Defensive Player of the Year. This guy's the real deal. Do you have anything? Do you want to retract these statements? Do you want to backpedal?
No, not at all. You know why I can? Because I'm going to go. A wise man named Cameron Taylor once told me a quote, and it stuck in my head. And it was in regards to Kenny Pickett and C.J. Stroud. Okay, so Victor Wembanyama, hey, he's doing good. How's his team doing? How many games they won, Cam? 12?
Not a lot.
They won 12 games now. Win some games, buddy, and we'll talk about considering you for Rookie of the Year. I bet when it's just you on your team, literally, you're the only one. So what's the shooting percentage, Cam? Let's pull that up. How many times a game is he shooting?
He's shooting 48% from the field, Ward, 31% from 3.
Okay, I would have like to see that. But anyway, Cam, because every time I watch him play, he plays like garbage. But Wemby may be good. I'm not a big NBA guy. We'll see him win some games. And also, he doesn't have that good of a class, too. Because I've been watching Brandon Miller in Charlotte. He's not doing too well. Scoot Henderson's playing like shit. And then what's the other? Chet's playing good. He's the only one. There's only 2 of them in that class that's worth the crap. So
I agree.
So yeah, he's not doing much of a. Well, you look at the first round picks the past couple of years. I don't know where Wemby sits, but he ain't number 1. I can tell you that.
Well, you got to think that, Ward.
He ain't better than Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards has been in the league for 4 years, though.
I'm just talking about first round picks the last couple of years.
But this is the worst this guy's ever going to be.
Who was the first round pick last year?
The year before his draft?
Or the year before Wemby? Who was it?
Paolo Banchero won Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, he had better Paolo.
You don't think? I mean,
I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't watch.
We'll leave it. We'll leave it. But I mean, as an 18, 19-year-old to be averaging 20, 10, 3 blocks, 3 assists as a 7'3" guy, it's pretty
good for him, man. Let's see him win some games, and I'll tell him he's good.
There you go. Ward still on the bus train until he quote unquote win some games.
Yeah.
College hoops, we're going to run through this pretty quick because we also have a UFC 298 preview coming your way. Breaking news right before the show happened. Chris Holtman got canned at Ohio State. Ward been there for a long time, but mid-year firing in the Big Ten, you don't see this a lot. Any thoughts on Chris Holtman out at Ohio State, Ward?
I think Ohio State sucks. And Cam, I did just get a big work email too that I have to jump to. Do you mind if we run through basketball quickly and then hit UFC?
Yeah, we'll go through real quick.
Cool. Thanks, brother.
Kentucky loses to Gonzaga on Saturday, bounces back against Ole Miss last night.
That was a big win for y'all.
Yeah, we needed that one. That was the first time
Ward.
Gonzaga on Saturday, first time in UK history that they lost 3 straight in Rupp Arena. Got back on track last night against Ole Miss. UNC lost to Syracuse. We already said that.
Yeah.
Illinois State puts a stop to the Indiana State hype train. Indiana State was ranked going into the game. They got beat. Texas Tech routs Kansas by 30 points last night. Purdue continues to roll. They beat Indiana by 20, Ward. The spread going into this game was 19.5. Who would have thought that Indiana, the blue blood, the big bad Hoosiers would be 19.5-point dogs and get beat by that much by their rivals over in West Lafayette?
Wow.
Who cares? Indiana stinks. And then I have only two teams are rising above the rest here in mid-February, one being Purdue, who's beating everybody, and the other being UConn. Those two are my favorites to win the UConn's my favorite to repeat national championship. I'll believe it when Purdue does it. And UFC 298, Ward, I'll run through it real quick. We'll give our predictions, picks of the week, and then we'll get out of here.
Let's do it, bro.
We got Volkanovski versus Ilya Tupuria. He's undefeated 14-0 going against the champ. Who you got?
It's going to be a really good fight, Cam. It's going to be a really good fight. I am taking Volk. I'm going to ride with Volk. I know that's your boy. Really good fight. I do think, there's a lot of hype behind Ilya. Look what he did to my boy Bryce Mitchell. But I'm really excited for this card, Cam. But, I'm riding with Volk every time.
Yeah, I'm taking Alexander the Great, man. I don't believe he'll get beat in this weight class until he gets beat, to be honest with you. Co-main, we've got long-awaited Robert Whitaker, Bobby Knuckles versus Paulo Costa. Paulo is probably down in a bottle of wine right now. Give me Bobby Knuckles by knockout.
Give me Robert Whitaker bouncing back. He did just get beat by Drickus, so give me Bobby Knuckles bouncing back.
There you go. Grudge match here. A lot of personal beef between these two. Jeff Neal going against Ian Gary.
Real quick, what's the personal beef?
Ian Gary for years has been calling Jeff Neal a child abuser.
I didn't know that.
And then Ian Gary also got exposed for being a cuck on national television.
He did.
Give me the guy that's not a cuck. Give me Jeff Neal.
Cam, I like it, man. Give me. I'll disagree with you. Give me Ian Gary.
Ward is for the cuck.
Give me the cuck.
Me, Rob. I'm not going to say his name. It's Rob versus Triple C Henry Cejudo. Excuse me. I'm going Marab, big time. Triple C does not look in fighting shape if you've watched any of these press conferences.
No, he hasn't. He just fired his coach like a week before his fight too. So give me the Russian. I don't bet against them anymore.
There you go. Picks of the week real quick, and we'll get out of here. I've got all hoops today for Bam's Bad Beats. We got Tennessee -8.5 versus Arkansas. UConn covering the big spread of 24.5 versus DePaul. Western Carolina Catamounts getting 7.5 versus Sanford. Give me the Cats and the points.
I like it, Cam, and like it in the rematch against Sanford too, because Sanford just beat us. So one, I'll go ahead. Mine's football. Mine's not much basketball this week. One, give me. I don't have this on here. Give me Volk. I do think Volk wins. Volk just got head kick knockout. So give me Volk bouncing back. Two, if this trade happens, Cam, this is a big if. I think there's a very strong chance Justin Fields falls in the red and black in the Atlanta Falcons. So give me Justin Fields doing that. And Cam, another one. A lot of free agency buzz. I do think Chris Jones is heading to the Houston Texans. Houston Texans have the second most cap space in the NFL. So I do think Chris makes a jump.
There you go. Want to say shout out, Justin, for leaving another great comment on the YouTube. But that's all we got. We do have a new segment coming to you guys next week. It's called Make Your Case. We'll explain it next week. Again, look out for the giveaway and go check out the merch. Find us on YouTube and Spotify. Type in the Fat Katz Podcast. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. Ward, it's been a pleasure as always, my friend.
Cam, always a pleasure, brother. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoy it tonight, and I'll holler at you later, big dog.
Yes, sir. Peace.